Huwara, West Bank and Jerusalem. CNN. Huwara has a burning smell in the air. Shattered glass still contaminates people's belongings. A 10-year-old boy swings a used Israeli military stun grenade and explains that he knows it's safe because the rope that activates it is gone. The gray and black carcasses of burned cars are a grotesque reminder of the worst Israeli settler violence these Palestinian villagers say they have experienced. Located just south of Nablus in the occupied West Bank, the town has long been a flashpoint for Israeli-Palestinian violence. One reason is that it is located on either side of Route 60, one of the main roads used by Israeli settlers and Palestinians alike. This is where two Israeli brothers were shot at close range while sitting in traffic on Sunday. Responsible person or persons have not been found yet. Here, hours later, dozens settlers erupted in anger, which one of Israel's top military generals later called a pogrom, which resulted in the Palestinian man and other injuries. Huwara resident Nahawand Damidi's home is behind a metal fence to guard against settler attacks. But he told CNN on Thursday that the violence had reached another level on Sunday night. Quote, "Settlements often attack us by throwing stones. They will use weapons if we try to defend ourselves. But last time was different. There were bullets everywhere you looked. Fires everywhere," he said as he stood on his balcony. CCTV footage shared by residents with CNN shows the settlers igniting the door of 75-year-old Nawal Dumeidi, known for religious tassels called tzitzit hanging from under his sweatshirts. After heaping flammable materials in front of door, Dumeidi said double door was marred by black scars from the flames that literally melted lock. Her two sons had to return from Dubai to forcefully open the door and free her. She told CNN. A man stands among cars that were destroyed on Monday after being set on fire overnight at a junkyard in the occupied West Bank town of Huwara, near Nablus. "It's a brutal terror," the woman said, adding that she was stuck at home for 3 days before she could leave the house. Villagers told CNN they normally expected the Israeli army to protect them from settler attacks, but did not do so on Sunday. Major General Yehuda Fuchs, top Israeli general in West Bank, admitted earlier this week that IDF was unprepared for scale of settler violence against Palestinians and took responsibility for failing to control it. "We will destroy Huwara. Many Israelis go to Huwara to have their cars repaired. Prices are much cheaper than on the other side of the Green Line." The Abu Saris family owns one of these repair shops, but dozens of cars on their land are now on fire. Her 10-year-old daughter, Lamar, speaks confidently and openly about what happened. She's already given several media interviews. But he doesn't want to sleep in his room anymore. "Its window was broken when settlers threw stones at it. Mom hid us in our room and went up on the roof to see what was going on. We heard they broke the windows of the house. We didn't do anything to them," says his 7-year-old brother Joud and his 2-year-old sister, Siwar, sitting next to him, wearing a yellow Pokemon suit. Siwar whispers, "Beep. Fire," after hearing a noise from outside. "The biggest crimes they've committed to us are not jobs and cars, but our frightened and traumatized children," their mother, Hana, says. "Look at Siwar. He's just afraid to hear a random noise from below." Hana says settlers yelled, "Death to Arabs. We'll destroy Huwara," as they burned cars in parking lots and fired 3 bullets toward house. 3 days after the settlers tried to do exactly that, the far-right Israeli finance minister Bezalel Smotrich, who is himself a settler leader, repeated this statement on stage at a media conference. "I think the village of Huwara needs to be wiped out," he told a reporter at a conference hosted by the Israeli business magazine The Marker. "I think the state of Israel should do that and, God forbid, not private citizens." The provocative remarks received a harsh and abrupt rebuke from the U.S. State Department, describing them as disgusting, and disgusting. Even Israel's ambassador to the United States, Michael Herzog, described it as contrary to our values. And while Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said he does not condone such violence and urges Israelis not to take the law into their own hands after the scourge, he has yet to denounce Smotrich's comments. Israeli support. Many Israelis abhor the violence in Huwara and see it as a corollary of the most right-wing and pro-settler government in Israeli history. On Friday, Israeli soldiers intervened in Huwara to prevent dozens of Israelis from demonstrating in support of the villagers. Meanwhile, a campaign launched by left-wing activist Yahya Fink to raise money for residents has raised more than 1.7 million shekels. As religious, Zionist, major, in army, and human being, I cannot stay silent while my peers burn villages, Fink said on Twitter the day after attack. Fink says he has received threats, spam calls and texts because of his campaign, and Huwara has become a rallying cry even during protests against the Israeli government's far-reaching judicial reforms as border police ed with protesters in Tel Aviv on Wednesday. Many asked, "Where were you in Huwara?" Quote,